The key for a video to become viral is the emotional connection with the viewer. And for that connection to happen, we must be sure that the viewer watches our video until the end because that's when the emotion will reach its climax. This experience will motivate the viewer to share the video. It seems obvious, but I can assure you that half of the videos uploaded to the internet are not watched until the end. And that's one of the main challenges our videos have to overcome. If we want our videos to become viral, on top of being emotional, we make sure they are watched until the end. In this episode, we'll learn some strategies in order to achieve it. Welcome to episode 7. How can your video be watched until the end? Every day we receive dozens of videos in our social networks, but honestly, how many of those videos do you even press play? Imagine you made a great emotional video and you post it, but no one clicks to watch it. How will they even share it without viewing it? That's why you have to make sure you have an attractive title for your video. A title that attracts people's attention. The title must suggest something interesting enough to talk about the issue you're going to address. But at the same time, it should keep me intrigued. So I'm eager to know more and press play. But remember, the still image you select with your title is also important. This image will be the introduction to your video. It's the first connection you establish with the audience. So please don't let YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or whatever platform you're going to post select this image for you. Be intentional and decide by yourself. Select the most powerful frame on your video, the one you think may attract more attention. If you want, design a specific image on purpose as a film poster for your video. The title and the cover image will be the first thing the potential audience will have from your video. So make sure it creates a buzz for the viewer to watch, to know more, and press play. Has the viewer already pressed play? Great! You've already achieved something most of the videos on the internet don't get. And believe me, that's already a success. The viewer is ready to focus their attention, at least for a few seconds, on your work, on your video you've invested so much time on. Well, now you've been granted an opportunity by the audience. Please don't miss it. Now you have to keep the trust. But not so much trust really, because when the viewer presses play, the viewer does it with some suspicion. The viewer thinks, there's something in the title and the cover that has attracted my attention, but will the video be interesting? As promised. That's why the viewer will give you 10 to 15 seconds max in order to confirm their suspicions. And if that happens, the viewer will stop watching your video. Because of that, now is when you have to challenge the audience and make their curiosity grow to keep them watching, something that usually works in what I call the riddle. Pose something at the beginning of the video with the power to create inside the viewer's mind the absolute need to know the solution. It can be a question, a dilemma, a conflict, anything that keeps the audience intrigued. The experience of watching a video is very similar to human relationships. It's very hard to gain someone's trust, but it is very easy to lose it. It just takes one mistake, especially at the beginning, for that relationship to fall. The same for videos. The first few seconds are critical. You have to gain the viewer's trust to make them think that the time spent watching your video is worth it. That's why you have to challenge the audience on an intellectual level with the first seconds of your video. Give your audience something that sinks in their mind, the need to stick around to the end in order to know the solution. Many people think that the key for a video to be viral is its length. Those videos must be shorter. I hear it all the time. Well, that's not the truth. I can show you a 1-minute video that seems to last forever and a 20-minute video that seems to finish in less than a minute. How is this possible if one of them is 20 times longer than the other? Because when we watch a video, time is relative, and that is achieved through tempo. Once the riddle is thrown at the beginning, the video must move with tempo, and tempo does not equal speed. Tempo means that the video must be posing new issues that keep the audience interested. And remember that the interest has been created by a title and an image and a riddle. The video must move forward following that path. If you get out of that promise at the beginning, the audience will be deceived and maybe even bored, but they'll stop watching the video anyways. In order to do that, avoid overloading the viewer with information. The more information your video has, the less emotional it'll be. But don't get too emotional, because if you overload your video emotionally, you may cause the opposite effect. Your video must provoke emotions, but also have some moments to breathe, never losing the tempo. If you lose the tempo, you're dead meat. If you've made the audience press play and you propose something at the beginning that made them curious, what you need to do now is not lose the connection you created with the audience. Move on, no hurry, but no stopping, and with tempo. Another item that helps the audience to keep attention on your video is how original the video is. The more original it may be, the more likely to be seen until the end. And I don't mean just how original the message is, because honestly, everything's already been told. I'm referring to the way you're telling it. That's where you can make a difference. Just use the same stuff as always, but different. Make the audience feel the message of your video. Although they may already know it, it has never been told this way. That's where you have to work on the originality, not so much on what you're telling, but how you're telling it. I know, you spent a lot of time selecting the music for your video, and there's nothing like good music in order to communicate emotions. But we're talking about videos to be watched by thousands of people, so we can't expect that all of them will watch and hear the music in perfect conditions. We love that anytime people watch our videos, they'll stop doing whatever they're doing and sit quietly on a sofa in their living room to watch it. Sorry, the world we live in doesn't work like that. We live in a hurry, eat in a hurry, make everything in a hurry. So our video will also be watched in a hurry. Probably in the metro, on a break, during work, waiting in the line of the supermarket. And although almost everyone has headphones, you can't assume they'll have them at that particular moment. If the video just came by WhatsApp, you can't miss the chance of losing one viewer. You created a title and a cover image that was very attractive. The viewer has pressed play. But if the video does not have subtitles, the viewer can't understand the riddle. So they don't have a clue of what the video is about. And you'll think, okay, they'll watch it later. More quietly. Forget about it. In 5 minutes, they will receive another video. In the next 5 minutes, another, and so on. Do you really think they're going to remember yours? When you create the video, please make the effort of thinking, is it also emotional enough if they watch it muted? If you achieve this, believe me, you will not lose a single viewer that presses play. But this has an easy solution. Always use subtitles in your videos. You will prevent this from happening. Remember that the audience is watching your video because of a promise you made to them at the beginning. From the moment they press play, they developed a possible ending to your story. In other words, the viewer continued watching because they'd like to be challenged intellectually. That's why your video must have a surprising ending that satisfies the viewer. But be careful, if your ending is too predictable, the feeling for the viewer won't be that satisfactory. And if the ending has no relation with the story you've been telling, it will also leave the audience with a bad feeling. You have to provide the ending the audience is waiting for, but in an unexpected way. That's the key. The audience must think, I knew it was going to end like this, but I was so surprised where they took me. It's so good. If you give the audience what they want, but surprise them in the same way, you have moved them. And believe me, the next thing they'll do is share your video. Remember, give the expected ending in an unexpected way. If we want our video to become viral, we know that people must share it. So let's say it at the end of the video. You can state it in a straightforward way. For example, if you like this video, share it. Or indirectly, at the end of the video, addressing the audience with a direct question. For example, if we've made a video on climate change, you could end it by asking a question like, and what about you? Do you think recycling is important? By doing it this way, you'll be inviting the audience to interact with the video. That's something really helpful for creating a viral video. So you did it with the script, but now you have to do it with the video. Before you post it, you must be sure that the video is emotional and watchable until the end. Show it to different people and ask yourself, have I captured the attention of all of them? Were they attentive throughout the video? Were they surprised? Were they emotionally moved? If the answers to these questions are yes, your video is ready. If not, check where it's failing, correct it, and re-edit it. Depending on the audience you're aiming for, it would be better to post a video on a certain day and time, better than others. Before posting the video, do a Google search and look for the times where your target audience makes a more intensive use of social media to watch videos. If your video is aimed for young people and you post it at 10 a.m. on a Monday, all of them will be in class, so it's not the best time. So find out what are the times with the most people of your audience watching videos and launch it in that precise hour. Also, seize the times marked in the calendar. If your video is talking about the importance of family, I can recommend you post during the Christmas season where the focus is on the family. If your video, for instance, talks about love, post it in February and use Valentine's Day to launch it. Try to link your video to a date in which people are already talking about the topic you're addressing. Jump on the wagon. Do you remember what we learned in episode 5 on how to adapt our video to social networks? Now it's time to do it. Don't just use one social network. Post your video in as many as you can, but always adapting your video to their particular format. You'll have to export your video horizontally, as a square, vertically, but it will be worth it. That will encourage the users on each social network to press play, and therefore you'll increase the possibilities on your video becoming viral. So go ahead. Viral videos are like the summer hit song, the chic restaurant, the big blockbuster, or a best-selling book. Most people like them, but nobody can predict their success. Viral videos, as well as songs, films, books, even a meal, are artistic creations, and nobody can ensure their success. Because of that, there is not a list of steps on how to create a viral video, just because we can't predict the future. The good news, as you already learned, it's up to us to make emotional videos, adding elements to make them watchable until the end. If you achieve this, you finally will get it. Maybe not in your first video, but in the most unexpected moment. You'll create a video and it will become viral. My advice for this to happen is to work with the script as much as you can. If you can imagine it, you can write it. So write it and rewrite it until you're sure that script has all the elements we've learned. In the next episode, I'll teach you how to write a professionally formatted script. See you then.